for the night. Said we're getting high, taking flight, take another shot, touch the sky, and we just getting started.
Hello, welcome to A to G. Now today we've got a really exciting video. As you've seen by the thumbnail, we do have our first clutch of eggs that are finally here, and I'm so excited. I've been waiting so long for this pairing as well. It's been one of the pairings that it's probably taken me, I want to say probably over a year and a half now that I've finally managed to get the film up to size, get the male that I wanted to actually pair together. And yeah, we finally got eggs from this pairing, so I'm so excited. And we also get to test out my new egg box. So if you've seen my previous videos, I've made my own custom egg boxes. I've like 3D printed the grate and things like that, and sort of changed the substrate I'm using. It's all going to be substrate free, so I'm really excited to see how these turn out. It's a bit of a risk, but it's one of those things you have to do it just by learning, basically. So yeah, I'm really excited. So the pairing that I did for this is my Cinnamon GHI female, and she's been bred to my Pastel Black Head 100% Het Hypo. Now, I'm not too worried about the hypo side of it. They're all going to be POS Het Hypo, so that might be something that I can prove out in the future, but it's not something I'm particularly working on right now. What I really want to try and hit is that Cinnamon Black Head GHI, just to try and see how much darkness I can get into one snake. And then once I've stacked them genes and I sort of know what they look like, I'm going to start adding a few other different genes, like maybe some yellow belly. I've got some red stripes, spot nose, start getting all that into the mix, get clown into the mix as well, future down the line. And that's where I want to sort of head with those projects, getting as many dark genes layered with a few sort of enhancing genes along the way. So yeah, super excited about this. I cannot wait. So I think she's done laying, so we're gonna have a quick look now, see what she's up to. I think there is a slug. I might have just seen the tip of one, but I didn't want to disturb her too much, so I picked the camera up. So we're gonna dive straight back in, and yeah, we're gonna see what she's got. So let's have a look at her. I think she has finished laying now. Oh, there she is, all nice and defensive. You'd expect that. Yeah, there we go. So I think I've counted 5 eggs. I have seen 1 slug. I think there might be another slug. You can see that 1 slug there. I believe there's another slug just below that. But to be honest, I kind of sort of expected that, just because she is a first-time mum, and I don't know if there are some fertility issues with the dad. I don't think there is, but again, this is the dad that fathered the full bunch of slugs I had with my clown female. So I don't know if there is something going on his side or not, because this is the second female that he's given me slugs with, but he is being paired to quite a few other females, so it'd be interesting to see if anything does come out from that, any more slugs. But I am giving him plenty of rest in between breedings and things like that, so I don't think it's that. I don't know, it might be that female, but I think she is completely done now. She looks ready to have a go at me, so we're going to get her out, and yeah, we'll have a close look at these eggs and get them set up. So before I actually transfer the eggs into the egg box, I just want to show you my incubator setup. So go back and watch one of my videos. I have done a video on this, which I use is like it's an old vivarium, and that's what I use as my incubator currently. The one I'm working on, it just isn't finished yet. I'm still waiting for a few more parts to come through, and then I can get that all up and running. So I've moved this out here just because I don't have any room in the snake room for it, but this is where I'm going to be running it. If you want to know how I run this, go back and watch my old video. But I get a lot of people asking me about incubators and what you can use, and I just wanted to show this. This is what I used to use as an incubator, and effectively all it is a polystyrene box. It's not particularly big. You probably get 4 boxes of eggs in there, I suppose. If you squeeze them in, you probably get 4 boxes. And as you can see, all I've got is I've got a heat mat taped to the back. This is one of those heat mats that actually has like a built-in thermostat, so you just turn that dial and you can actually control the heat of that, but I don't trust that 100%, so I do actually put a normal thermostat on this. And all I would do is I'd just put the box in the middle, I'd put something to raise the box up off the floor, I'd have a small fan in there to circulate the air around, and all I'd use for a lid is I had this old polystyrene with a lip on it. You can see there's a lip, and all that would do is that would sit on top of that box like that, and that's what I used to incubate my eggs in. I've still got it just as a backup because it works so well, holds temperatures really evenly, there's not a big fluctuation in temperatures, which is pretty good. And yeah, that's all I used to use. I got this box for free. I bought it from, well, I didn't buy it, I bought a load of coral and fish from a aquarium shop, and that's what they gave me to sort of transport it all in. So if you are looking for these sort of polystyrene boxes, it might be worth getting down to an aquarium shop or a reptile shop, something like that. They might have one of these spare that they can give you, or even if you give them a couple of quid for it, I mean, they're absolutely ideal. and for the lid they normally come with a lid, but mine didn't. I just had to make one out of some old polystyrene that I had laying around, and yeah, this does absolutely perfectly. And to set it up, it's really simple. I've literally just, you can see there I've made a hole there on the side, which is what the heat mat goes through. There's another hole that's just like here, and that's what I'd put the probe in for the thermostat. And then what I would do is I would rest that probe on top of the box in the middle, and that's what I would run my temperatures off. I'd also have like another separate thermometer, so if you look down here you can see I've got one of these little thermometers that run off my main incubator, just to give me, these aren't 100%, but it's just to give me like a rough estimate of what the temperature is in there, so I've got a good idea. But I normally trust the thermostats with their temperatures, and I've got a heat gun as well, and I'll use the heat gun. But that's basically how you can set up a simple incubator box, really cheap to run, easy to set up. The only thing with this is that try and get out of the habit of continuously looking in there, because as soon as you open this lid, you think all of that air in there is going to come gushing out, it's going to mix with cool air, and it's going to bring the temperatures in this box down dramatically fast. And it doesn't take long to heat back up, but if you're constantly doing that constant drop in heat and rise in heat, it can cause some problems with the eggs. So if you are going to use something like this, I sort of recommend leaving them alone for a good 2 weeks. If you need to have a look, try and peek in with a little crack with a torch, just to make sure the eggs aren't going bad, anything like that. But yeah, try and refrain from opening this too much. But yeah, I thought I'd just quickly cover that, because a few people have asked what I used to use, and yeah, that tends to work perfectly for me. What we're going to do is now we're going to get the gel off the eggs, get them into the egg box, and yeah, get them into the incubator and start them cooking. So here she is, nicely coiled up around her eggs, which is brilliant to see. You can see that one there, which is one slug, and like I said, I think there is another slug underneath that, so I'm not particularly worried. Again, like I said, new time mum, it's kind of expected. So what we'll do is now we're going to have a little go trying to get her off those eggs, and then down here to the side I've just got a little tub of water just to put her in afterwards, just to make sure that she's hydrated and sort of get that smell off her a little bit. So hopefully I can get her off these eggs without getting bitten. Going to check to make sure she's completely empty. She looks good. Lovely. She doesn't look like she's lost too much weight, which is good. She wasn't a big girl to begin with. I think she was just over 1,600 grams. So look at that pattern. She looks gorgeous. Yeah, she's looking good weight-wise. So we'll get her into that little tub. So for now, I've just got her in this little tray here, just with some water in there. It's lukewarm. She'll have a little drink and have a little soak in there. So that'll keep her occupied while I have a look at these eggs, get these all sorted out. So we've got 5 eggs, which is brilliant. I'm really happy for that. I thought she was only going to give me 3, maybe 4, so I'm really happy with that. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to candle these, have a look at them all, make sure they're all looking good. You can see, yeah, we've definitely got 2 slugs in there. There's 1 slug there, 1 slug there, so that's absolutely fine. I can't complain about that, so I'm really happy. So we'll get them separated, get them candled, and then hopefully we can get them in the egg box. Now if you haven't seen the egg box I use, this is my custom egg box that I've made. I have done a video on this, so again, if you haven't seen that, go back through my channel, go and find it, have a look at it. I think it's quite interesting. I'm trying this out for the first time as well, so I'm really excited to see how this holds up. So yeah, definitely go check it out. But this is all 3D printed. You can see for the media I'm using just sponge and water. I'm not using any vermiculite or anything like that, no Hatchright. It's literally just a sponge and water. So I go through all the reasons why I'm doing that and the way I've set it up and why I've got all these different sections for the eggs. All that's going to be explained in that video, so go and check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, now it's time for the exciting parts, get these bad boys separated, marked up and put in the box. So I'm not going to go through the whole process of how I canned all my eggs and things that I've done videos in the past, and I don't want to bore you, but I'll just give you a quick look. You can see embryos on top, nice strong veins. Same with this one, embryos on top, nice strong veins. Same with this one. Try and get a good angle on this one. This one's quite dark, but it has got very strong veins. There you can just see, camera's not going to focus, it's too dark for it to focus, but again, there you can see nice strong veins. But yeah, the reason I do it the way I do it is just the way that I do it. I guess you see I mark them out first, got the little dash there on the side, that's the way it was facing up, and then you can see the circles where the embryo is, and I do that with all my eggs, to be honest. I think the most extreme one was this one, so you can see that's where the embryo is, and the way it was laid up was there, so I've literally turned it almost 180. So yeah, that's the way I like to. I like to mark where they were laid face up, and then I put a little circle over the embryo. That's just how I've always done it. So yeah, that's them all sorted. So we're gonna get the lights on and get them into incubator. And these slugs, they're just gonna go to waste. I don't have anything that will eat them at the minute, so it's a bit of a shame really. I'm looking at getting into like a monitor lizard that can enjoy these, but that's going to be further down the road because I want something that's a little bit special. So yeah, but for now they're just going to be chucked away. Shame really. And this is the bit I've been most excited about. You can see it's all steamed up because it has been in the incubator for a little bit. But my new egg boxes, I'm so happy with the way these come out, and I'm really excited to test these. A lot of people are going to say, oh, it's a bit dodgy testing them with eggs that are things like that. I don't know. Basically, you're not going to learn unless you try it, and I don't see why it won't work. It's kept exactly the same, except I'm not putting any substrate in the bottom basically, so it's going to be pretty much exactly the same way that you normally treat your other eggs in the incubator. You can see there the sponge, there's water down there below. You can see the water level, so here's the water level, so I've got plenty of room there in between that and the grate. So there's no way that water can get onto the eggs. This isn't going to slosh around too much because the sponge that's in there is going to stop that egg from the water from moving around and touching the egg. So yeah, really happy about this. Now these are quite small eggs compared to what I normally get, so they're going to fit in here perfectly anyway. They're not going to roll about because I'm going to sit them up against the grate and stuff like that, so I'm not worried about them moving. So it's just a case of just popping them in just like that. And I can prop that up against the grate, which is brilliant. The eggs aren't going to be touching each other, they're only going to be touching the grate. And yeah, look at that. I'm so happy with that. And you think if you get some decent, that's probably, I don't know, 2/3 of what a normal ball python egg sort of gets to size wise. So I think even if you had some ginormous humongous eggs, I really don't think there's much room to move about. Now I do have some little pegs for these that I can put in, but to be honest, I think that's in there pretty well. I don't think that's going to move about too much, so I don't really want to be putting pegs and stuff in there anyway. So that's going to go in just like that. And you can see both them eggs, they're going to be nestled in together. They've got plenty of airflow as well. Obviously it's great, so I'm not worried about airflow or anything like that in there. And I think they're just going to sit in there perfectly. So if we get all of these in here, the thing is I can sort of put these eggs in however I want them, because these flex, whichever way I sort of put these eggs in, they're sort of gonna they'll hold themselves in place, if that makes sense. Like there's no chance of them rattling around. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. Took me a while to figure out a design that I wanted to go with, and I sort of went with that leopard gecko, or any sort of gecko really, that sort of type of breeding box. And there you go. So doesn't make my OCD happy, because I would like them to be sat in there each one perfectly, but like I said, because they're not that big, I don't want them rolling around and things like that, so I'm sort of wedging them in there just like that, but they're not touching. And yeah, I think that's going to be ideal. And then once I put the lid on, that's going to push down on these two panels here, which lock everything in place anyway, so there's no chance of anything moving. And yeah, I'm really happy about that. It's a bit of a big box. It's a bit overkill for just 5 eggs, but I made these big enough that I could get up to 12 eggs in, so I don't ever think I'll get 12 eggs this season. I think the most I've ever had was 10, so yeah, that's probably a little bit overkill for that size, but it doesn't matter. It's my first clutch of the year, so I'm really happy just to try it out basically. So what I'll do is now I'm just going to pop the lid on. So these are airtight lids, they do have a seal around the edge, so it is going to be completely airtight, so I know none of that moisture is going to be able to escape. So I shouldn't have to top this up anymore than what's already in there water wise, so that should be ideal. The only time I'll open this up is I'll probably sort of have a look inside and stuff like that, maybe let a little bit of air exchange happen, but apart from that I'm pretty much just going to leave these to cook for the 60 days. So yeah, really happy about that. So all I've got to do is now get these in the incubator. I'm going to finish filling out the clutch card, get that all set up ready to go, sort them out, and we're pretty much done. And that's the eggs in the box, all set to go, and in the incubator, looking absolutely brilliant. You notice I do have tape on these. I've explained all this in previous videos, but again I'll just say I use that just to keep the heat in there a little bit more stable, because there are gaps between the glass. But yeah, they're set on there. I've got a little bit of polystyrene underneath them. That's just so a little bit of airflow gets underneath the box as well, just so it's getting heat from everywhere. And yeah, that's set to go. That's in there for 60 days. Now the waiting begins. This is literally the worst part of it. I hate waiting, but fingers crossed we get that snake that I want. I really want to try and hit that Cinnamon GHI Black Head. If I can hit that, as long as I get one, I'm happy. I don't care if it's a boy or a girl, either or. I'm not greedy. I just want one with all three of them genes in, and I'll be over the moon, because I've just got some big projects for that. So fingers crossed that's what I get. Now the mum's been sat in here for probably a good sort of 15-20 minutes now, and you can see it's nice and warm, and you can see all the condensation built up. She's had a little drink, she's had a little slosh around, and I think she's ready to come out now. So all I've got to do is I'm just going to finish cleaning the tub out, put some new coconut chip in there, get that all set and clean for her. Once she goes back in there, I'll probably give her a couple of days, and then I'll attempt to feed her. She is one of the picky eaters I own. She is on frozen Maltese. No matter what I do, I just cannot get her off of Maltese, but at the end of the day, I'm not too fussed about it. I think that's why she is so small for her age. I think she's a 2017 girl, so she's sort of getting on for 3 years old now. I mean, she got up to weight fairly quick, but it was a slow, steady pace, just trying to get there, because she's on Maltese, and she'd only ever take one Maltese at the time. She wouldn't take multiple, so she's a little bit slow with the growing, but it doesn't bother me. I'm really happy with this. I've got some big plans for her next. I've got a very special snake that I've picked up. I've not shown anybody it yet. I'm really excited to show it. It's not going to blow your mind, but it's something that's going to push my project 4 years ahead of where I am already, and he's going to be paired to her. It is a clown gene as well, so it's going to be pushing my clown project forward, especially with the Cinnamon and the GHI. So yeah, really excited. But she looks like she wants to get out of there now, so we'll get all that cleaned up, get her in there, and get her nice and comfy. That's her bed all nice and clean. Nice layer of coconut there, bowl's nice and clean. All we've got to do is got to try and get her out. She might still be a little bit upset, but after a few days she should be okay. But yeah, to be honest, her weight, looking at her, is spot on. She does look quite small there, but she was only small to begin with, but she's not too badly sunken in. And I think once I get those Maltese in there with her, I think she'll be bang on the food again straight away in a few days. So just give her a few minutes just to sort of chill out, make sure she's okay. She's had a good drink, because I see her actually drinking in the bowl of water that I put her in. So I know she's got some hydration in her now. So really happy. She should bounce back pretty quick, to be honest. And yeah, look at getting her back up to size for next year. Hopefully the male that I get, he'll be ready for then, because he's still only a baby at the minute. So yeah, hopefully he'll be ready. Pair these two up and we should get some pretty nice stuff. And I'm just being watched by all the snakes, because I have just finished feeding. So this is my albino female. She's actually being paired to my ultra male to make some double het. So I'm going to get some double het albino ultra male stuff, which is, I don't know why I'm doing it. It's just something I wanted to try. I thought it would be quite interesting, just to see what the albino ultra male looks like. I don't think it's been done before. I've tried to have a little look about, and I've not seen anything. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. They're pairing. She's still feeding, still growing, so I'm going to continue pairing until that finally shows some sort of ovulation. And I'm going to slowly stop talking and move away now, because she's sort of turning around and kinking up as if she's going to have a go. So I'm going to put her away, let her have a little bit of quiet time. I'll be back and check on her in a few hours, just make sure she's settled back in. But yeah, Mabby, first clutch, she is finally here. Now I've probably got, I don't know, I've got quite a few pairings this year. As you can see, I've got all these girls here, all these girls here. These ones are laid, they're sort of fairly rare. They were last year, sort of end of last year, so they won't be paired up for a while. But yeah, I've got a few going. Ignore this rack. I haven't shown this rack much on the channel, just because I'm quite embarrassed by it, to be honest. It's just something I knocked up quickly, just to basically house all my females. And yeah, I'm getting into aluminium and stuff like that, so a lot of this is all going to be replaced with aluminium that I'm doing myself. So yeah, I'll go into like proper depth when I actually get all that set up. So yeah, that's all I've got for you. Super excited about it. I cannot wait. It's going to be a long 60 days, but it's going to be worth it. I'm really hoping we can hit that Cinnamon GHI Black Head. I really want to know what it looks like, because I haven't seen any sort of floating around. I don't really know what to expect. I know the pattern's going to be very reduced. I know it's going to be quite dark, but yeah, that's one of the stages I need to hit in order to sort of progress with the project, start adding in those enhancer genes and things like that, trying to brighten it up, make the pattern a little bit more wacky, and then eventually getting into that clown, seeing what it does to clown. So yeah, I'm really excited. I should be picking up my new male very soon. Very soon. I've got a few snakes that I'm sort of trying to move on fairly quickly, so I'm thinking I can just sort of use them and put them forward for him instead. But yeah, he's absolutely amazing. He's going to be a big game changer. Like I say, he's going to push me ahead of the project, sort of 4 years ahead, so I don't have to wait. And yeah, I've got loads of females. They're sort of being paired up. I'm putting a straight clown that I've got. It's a straight clown male that I made a few years ago. He's been going to quite a few females, and I'm basically going to hopefully switch him out with this other male that I'm getting, just so it bumps up all the genes and things like that, and it's just going to give me some better results. It's going to sort of speed up my journey a little bit more. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. But if you've got any questions on the projects, on my incubator, egg boxes, things like that, feel free to send me a message on here or DM me on Instagram. I have done videos on both of those. They're sort of further down my page if you want to search for them. There's not many on there, but you should be able to find them. But again, if you watch them, you still have any questions, please feel free to hit me up. Even if you think they're stupid ideas and they need improving, just let me know, because the only way I'm going to learn is by sort of learning from others and going through that experience myself. So yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. I think we do have another female as well who is due to lay in the next couple of weeks. I think I might have missed the ovulation, but she's been off food for a good few months now. She's looking absolutely huge. So yeah, that might be a telltale sign that she is due to drop, or she's still building. I'm still going to pair her anyway, just so I want to try and sort of maximise that chance of her actually ovulating. So fingers crossed she goes as well. But yeah, we're going to have quite a few clutches coming up. I think there's about probably 9 or 10 females I'm looking to go this year. So yeah, I'm hopefully producing a lot of holdbacks. A lot of it is going to be het stuff that I'm going to be sort of keeping back for the future, but anything else that isn't going to fit into my plans will be moving on. So make sure you keep an eye on Morph Market. I've got a load of stuff over there. Yeah, go check it out. Send me some messages, see what you think. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
We just getting started.